What is credit? It's the ability to acquire money and resources based upon the trust you've established. You are expected to pay back in the future, but when the repayment period expires, the credit turns into debt. Since credit is such a powerful financial tool, understanding it is critical to your financial success. Credit allows you to fund for expenses that you otherwise could not afford, such as college, your house, your car. Use it wisely. Build a good credit reputation. Many people look into it. Your employer, landlord, insurance, and utility companies. They look at your credit to determine your trustworthiness. But be careful. It can be dangerous if misused. Abuse of credit through poor spending habits can damage your reputation and put you in debt for many years. Practice healthy credit habits. Here are a few things you can do. Have a spending plan, pay on time, pay in full, try to keep a low balance. Do not apply for credit that you do not need. Keep the receipts and compare for discrepancies. Avoid co-signing since you're putting yourself in hook too. How to choose a credit card? You need to look at your spending habits. If you always pay in full, get a card with no annual fee and grace period for payment. If you're carrying a balance, you want zero APR and balance transfer, low interest rate. If this is your go-to card for all expenses, you want to maximize rewards. If this is for travel, no foreign transactional fees. You should also check into fees, interest, and penalties. Check out the intro APR or annual payment rate, regular APR, and penalty APR. Sometimes the APR jacks up to a higher rate when you're late. Also inquire about grace period for late payment. You need to know what is your credit limit. Does it cover your expenses? Avoid maxing out since that's going to hurt your credit. You also need to know how balance is being calculated. Is it a daily balance on one cycle or 2 cycles? If it is 2 cycles, you get penalized even if you're good at one and not the next. Finally, you want to know what type of incentives being offered. How is the award being calculated? Is it 1%, 2% on purchase? Is there a requirement on how much you need to spend on the first 60 days? What are the restriction and expiration dates on rewards? What kind of card and what kind of payment interest you're going to get also depends on your credit score. Check out NerdWallet for its credit card comparison tool. Type in your desired benefit features, payment interest rate, or perks, and check out the recommended offers. Credit card is a very expensive way to finance debt. Because it is unsecured, interest rate typically ranges from 11 to 22%. If you only pay the minimum at 18% interest rate, it takes 22 years or 3 times the original amount. Even if it's 11%, it still takes 12.3 years. Avoid paying the minimum. Here's a calculator to help you target your balanced payoff plan. Input the interest rate and the amount you owe. Next, input the desired repayment period and calculate how much you need to put in. Or, input the amount you can afford and calculate the repayment period. Play with the calculator and figure out a plan that works for you. Here is how your score being calculated. 35% on payment history, that is whether you're on time or late. 30% on debt level, so it's important not to max out your limits. 15% on debt account history, how long has your card been on file. 10% on new debt, and 10% on the different types of debt you've experienced with. What is your credit score? The range of credit score is between 300 and 850. If you get beyond 750, that's awesome. You're doing really well. If you're under 650, not so well. That number is considered subprime. Your interest payment's probably going to be high. Due to its importance, you should request for a credit report from annualcreditreport.com. You are allowed 1 free report a year. Check for accuracy, spelling, name, address, also fraudulent charges. There are 3 credit reporting agencies: Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Look out for red flags. Are you borrowing to pay for items you once paid for with cash? Is an increasing percent of your income going to pay debt? Are you paying bills with money reserved for something else? Are you taking money from savings to pay for current expenses? Is your emergency fund sufficient or inadequate? If you're answering yes to any of question 1 to 5, you are getting out of control. Stop using credit until current debt balances are being paid. Now try these. Do you only pay the minimum? Are you taking longer to pay? Are you near the credit limit of your credit card and other sources of borrowing? Do you take out a new loan before an old one is being paid in full, or take a new loan to pay an existing loan? Do you take out payday loans? Are you unsure of how much you owe? If you answer yes to any of the questions from 6 to 11, you are on the verge of trouble. Stop using credit. Develop a budget and debt repayment plan. Last two questions. Are you chronically late in paying your expenses? Are you threatened with repossession of your vehicle, cancellation of your credit cards, and other legal action? If it's a yes to question 12 or 13, you're probably overextended. Consult a financial planning professional now before your financial goals become impossible to achieve. How much is too much debt? There are 3 debt-to-income or DTI benchmarking ratios. Consumer DTI, or debt excluding mortgage divided by net income, under 20%. Housing DTI, mortgage expense divided by gross income, under 28%. Total DTI, or debt divided by gross income, under 36%. Let's say you have a cash flow problem. Let's take a look and see how you can get out of debt. How to get out of debt? Analyze just and find solutions. If spending is too high, cut back, increase income. If high interest rates killing cash flow, pay down excessive debt, explore cheaper financial options. If you have overdue account, call your creditor and negotiate term. If you've got a huge card balance, look for balance transfer. Debt consolidation. For those who have great credit score and a good income, you can think about loan consolidation at one of these online lending resources. What are the advantages? You can consolidate government and private loans, fixed variable rates, flexible term, deferment during hardship, custom loan balance, and attractive interest rates. Contact your creditors. If you believe you might be in trouble, call your creditors as soon as possible. If there's a valid reason for your hardship, try to negotiate new terms with them, such as extended payment schedule, low interest rate, reduced loan amount, temporary deferment. Don't wait until your loan is in default. Under the federal law, a debt collector cannot call you before 8 or after 9 or while you're at work if they know that your employer doesn't approve of these calls. Collectors may not harass, lie, or use unfair practices. They also must honor written requests from you to stop further contact. If it gets too hard, you might be interested in working with a professional. They can advise you on how to prioritize your debt payment, negotiate with creditors for better payment terms, consolidate debt to lower payments and improve cash flow, make more than the minimum payment to reduce principal. Working with a credit counselor. You should check out the CCCS program. A credit counselor may help you suspend late payment fees. Successful completion of the program may be used as acceptable credit history. Develop a budget to see how much money can go into the debt repayment. Negotiate debt repayment schedule and help you distribute debt payment. Bankruptcy. Chapter 13. Reorganization. For individuals with regular income, this provides protection from collection efforts. Judge will determine how much you can afford to pay. Finance charges ceases when you make payments to creditors over the next 3 to 5 years and then you're out of bankruptcy. However, records stay for 7 years. Chapter 7. Liquidation. This means selling off all your assets and converting them to cash, except for exempt items. It releases you from the obligation to repay any debt after the sale, but your record stays on for 10 years. Exempt items are vehicles, clothing, household items, and pension. Think first. Here are some words of wisdom. Logic beats emotion. Don't let fancy marketing suck you in. Additional costs matter. Buying a car also means paying for the gas, maintenance, and insurance. Things change. You might not want it later. Shopping around is smart. If you can't stop yourself, use cash or debit. Now do a budget. Mark down your income after tax, all your fixed and variable expenses, your short-term and long-term saving goals. If you have positive cash flow, you can add perks and vacation. If it is negative, think about cutting expense and raise income. Wow, you're doing great. Keep learning. The end. You can find more of these videos on Pension Maxima's YouTube channel. Thank you.